Hello and welcome to Sew with Christine. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to make this gown without a pattern and no side seam. As you can see, this dress does not have a side cut, so we'll be doing this together. It's very simple and fast. So I would like you to subscribe to this channel. Please hit the like button and do share to those that will be interested in watching this tutorial. Also, if you want to get notified when I post new tutorials, you can turn your post notification bell on. I've gone ahead to lay out my fabric, and this fabric is first folded into two. Next, I'm going to fold it this way. You can see the way this is slanted. That is how you should fold yours. This part will serve as the waist. This side will be the length of the lower part. So this part that is the waist would have excess fabric to it for pleating. So the quarter waist measurement I'm using for this tutorial is 8 inches plus the pleats that I want here, that is 23 inches plus 1 inch for seam allowance. You can go ahead and multiply your quarter waist measurement by 3 and you can use that for your waist plus pleating measurement. This is the area where you take down the length of this lower part. So from the waistline, I measure downward. You're going to mark your length here. And from this part where you mark your length, you can see I've also gone ahead to mark my 1 inch for seam allowance. This part is the center front as well as the center back because this is folded into 4. So note that we are working on the front and the back parts together. Then from this area where you mark your length, you are going to measure to the folded area. This is the side. So you are going to take down your measurement here. Divide your hip by 4 and minus 2 inches from it. But if you want the base to be slimmer, then go ahead and make use of your quarter waist measurement. So you can see what the shape is like from this part through to the waistline, then to the side. So when you fold yours, you should get something like this. I'm gone ahead to cut this out. When each of these is opened up, you should have something like this. This is the lower part, that is the hem area, and this is the waist area. At the waist here, like I said, I have this at 24 inches plus my 1 inch for seam allowance. Next is for us to pleat the waistline. I'm going to open this fabric up since I have 23 inches for the measurement at the waistline and the quarter waist measurement that I'm working with is 8 inches. 23 minus 8 inches, that gives us 15 inches. So I'm going to be using up 15 inches for the pleats. For this tutorial, I'm going to be making use of 5 pleats for the lower parts. Okay, so all of the inner folds will be 3 inches wide. So 3 inches times 5 would give us 15 inches. So I've used up the entire 15 inches. While the remaining 8 inches is what I'm going to use for the outer folds using 1.5 inches. If you have not seen my tutorial on how to make pleats like a professional, then you want to watch this video that you're seeing on the screen when you are done watching this one. It's going to help you understand how to measure pleats, how to calculate so that you can have even pleats that appears very neat and professional. I'll go ahead and mark down my measurements, but you can also use a free hand to just fold your pleats and pin them in place. You keep, arranging your pleats till you arrive at your exact measurements if you do not want to go by the calculation method. So before the center front here, I'm going to leave 3 inches there. 1 inch will serve as the seam allowance and the other 2 inches will serve as this area that you see on the screen. After marking, I'll go ahead and pin my pleats accordingly. Now when pinning, you just want to pin a little close to this sharp edge here. So guys, if you have watched to this point and you are yet to give this video a thumbs up, please hit the like button, do subscribe to this channel, and you can share this video to your friends and families. If you have questions, you can leave them in the comment section below. I'll go ahead and measure from the side through to the center front there, and I'm going to mark 8 inches. So the remaining 1 inch is going to be for the same allowance. The same way I pleated that other side, I'm going to pleat this side as well. And I will repeat the same thing for the other piece of fabric. Alright, I've gone ahead to pleat around the entire waistline of this dress. Next is for us to sew the center front. So I'm going to place this way, right side facing right side. And from the waistline, I'm going to measure downward 18 inches. Now you're going to determine how long you want your slit opening to be. Mark down your value here and sew from your waistline down to the area that you have marked using the 1 inch seam allowance that we left for this dress. I've gone ahead to sew this. Next is for us to secure this area by folding this inward twice. So I'll take this to the sewing machine and I'm going to run my stitches over this place down to the hemline. So let's move to the upper part. This is the back area. So I'm going to mark down 1 inch from the top to the base. Now the length of this is the length from your shoulder line to your waistline, and this 1 inch that I've marked here is the allowance for the zipper. From the 1 inch, I'm going to mark down the half shoulder measurements. Then from the half shoulder measurement, I'm going to mark down 12 inches for the sleeve. And I'll leave 1 inch there for the same allowance. For the neck depth, I'm going to come down by 7 inches. Then for the neck width, I'm going to mark 2.75 inches. Now you can mark down 3 inches if you want to. From the neck width, I'm just going to connect down to meet the neck depth. Now this area, I'm going to mark my seam allowance there. Then I'll come downward by 10 inches for the sleeve opening. From this 10 inches, I'll go inward by 1 inch for the seam allowance. At the waistline here, I'm going to mark down 16 inches plus 1 inch for the seam allowance. Then I'm going to connect from this area downward. Afterwards, I'll go ahead and cut out my fabric. Now for the back waistline, all you have to do is to multiply your quarter waist measurement by 2. Since I'm working with 8 inches times 2, that's 16 inches. That's how it came about my 16 inches. This is the front part, and this one over it is the back part. So I'll go ahead and cut out the neckline of this front piece. I'm using the same measurement, that is 2.75 inches by 7. Here are the waistbands for the back part. I've divided this into 2, and I have this at 2.5 inches for the width when the bands unfold. And this one here is for the front part. I have this piece of fabric here that I'll be using for the facing. So I'm going to fold this into 2 and bring in the front part. I'm just going to lay this over the piece that is beneath it. Once I'm done laying this, I'll go ahead and cut along the neckline. And I'll also reduce the length of the facing this way. This is how I'm going to place the facing onto the front part. I'll place it right side facing right side. I'm going to sew the neckline from this part through to the other end. But before that, I'm going to fold this edge in and run my stitch over it. So I've gone ahead to sew the front neckline. Then for the back, these are the strings that I'm going to be using. I have two of this. I'm going to place one on this side and one on the other side before placing my facing onto it. Afterwards, I'm going to sew from the top down. So I'm done with the back facing, and this is what it looks like for both parts of the back piece. Next is for me to join the shoulder of the back to that of the front. I've gone ahead to join the shoulders of the front to that of the back, and this is what we have here. So this is the back view, and these are the string for the neck region. Before we pleat the front part, I'm going to fold this into two and get the midpoint of the front. Once I get the center front, I'm going to notch that area. I'll open this up, then start my measurement from this notched area. From that point, I'm going to mark 2 inches, the same 2 inches that we marked for the lower part. Then I'll proceed to marking my pleat measurement. So for this upper part, I'm just going to make 3 pleats in total. After marking, I'll go ahead and pleat on the marked areas. Now, like I said, you can use freehand if you want to. From the center here where we notched, I'm going to mark the quarter waist measurements here. So the remaining fabric there will be for the same allowance. The same way I marked down my pleats measurement, I'll do the same on this side here. So guys, we are almost done with this tutorial, but if you are yet to like this video, please give this video a thumbs up, as this would encourage me to make more videos and also enable more people to watch this tutorial and benefit from it. Also, do not forget to subscribe and turn your post notification bell on. I'm done pleating this side. I'll also take the measurements of this side and mark down my seam allowance here. Next, I'm going to bring in the lower parts. See what it looks like. I've gone ahead to fold the slit opening. Now is the time to join the lower part to the upper part. But before we join them, we would like to ensure that all of our pleats are well aligned. That's the pleats of the upper parts and that of the lower parts. So this is me checking to ensure that all of the pleats are in place. We won't be pleating the back piece of the upper part. Instead, we are going to be running gather stitches onto the waistline. Next is to sew the band onto the upper part of this dress. I'm going to bring in the band for the front piece, and I'll place the band this way onto the front part like so, and sew from one end to the other. Now for the back piece, I'm going to make scanty gathers onto the waistline of this piece while sewing the band to it. Here we have it, guys. I'm done sewing the band to the front and the back piece of the upper part. We are now going to sew the sides close. So I'm going to sew the sides using 1 inch from the sleeve opening to the waistline. So I'm done sewing the sides, as you can see, and I've also closed the hem at the sleeve area. Next is for us to join the lower part to that of the upper part. Before we do that, I'm going to get the midpoint of this waistband. Then I'm going to place the midpoint of the lower part onto the area where I marked at the waistband. Then I'm going to run my stitch from one end through to the other. This is it. I'm done joining the upper parts to the lower parts. Next is for us to fix our zipper. So I'm going to fold this in two like so. This is the center back. Then I'm going to take the length of my zipper. That is where I want my zipper to stop. I'm going to close off the remaining parts. Then proceed to hemming the base of this dress. So this is what we have here, guys. I'm done with this dress. As you can see, this is very easy to achieve without pattern and without a side seam. Let me know in the comment section if you're going to be trying this out, and do not forget to subscribe, like and share this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.